Welcome to a new video, everybody. Today we're going to be replacing some of the stock bulbs in our tail lights, more specifically the ones right on top of the turn signals back here. It's going to be that bulb that's kind of housed right up there where my finger is at. We're going to be replacing those stock ones with some nice super bright LEDs. So let's go ahead and see what we'll need to do to get these things installed. To access these brake light bulbs and the turn signal bulbs, which we'll be doing in a later video, you're simply going to open up the trunk and then get inside of these little panels that are on the sides of the back here, and then you're just going to twist that little lock and pull a little piece out. Once you're inside of this panel, you're going to go ahead and disconnect this power wire. You're going to pinch right here at the top and then just pull out, and then you can actually also disconnect this little post here from the little red clip that's holding it, so you can give yourself a little more room. Now, the light that we're going to be changing is that top one right there with the little red plug. You're going to stick your fingers in there and just give it a turn until it clicks and loosens. I think it's going to be towards us. Yeah, so you're gonna pull it towards you and then just kind of wiggle it with your fingers. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera, it's a tight squeeze in here. Then you're just going to pull this bulb slowly out, kind of maneuvering it through the hole there. And that's probably another reason why you want to take that thing off this little red post. It gives you a little more clearance to get to the bulb. To remove these old bulbs, you're simply going to push down and then twist it, and then you'll be able to pull it right out of the socket. Alrighty, and here's a look at the new bulb. This thing should be really bright. There's the company name, Yorkim. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below for some of these if you want to pick some up for your car. Let's go ahead and do a test real quick though. We'll see what the stock light looks like in the daytime and then what one of these looks like in the daytime. Alrighty, and here's what the old bulb looks like in the daytime, not too bright. Alrighty, and there's what the new bulb looks like in the daytime. You can tell it's quite a bit brighter than the inside lights. We will be switching those eventually too. I just have to find the right bulbs for those as well. To install the new bulb, just go ahead and fit it in there, and if you can't push down and twist it, that means it's backwards. So don't worry, this will only go in one way. Then once you get it in the right way, you just push down, twist, and make sure that it doesn't come back out of the socket. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and feed the light back up into the housing up here. And again, this will also only go in one way. There's a little tooth that's a bit bigger than the rest of them that has to go into a specific slot. So again, don't worry. If you think you've got it in wrong, it will only go in one way and then click. Now we're going to go ahead and put the little power connector back on this red post here. It will also click into place, and then we're going to grab the power cable and make sure that it also clicks back into place. And then to finish it up, we're just going to go ahead and put our little insert back in here and then make sure it's locked so it doesn't come out. Alrighty, so I went ahead and started up the car and turned the lights on, and I wish I was filming before I started because I actually had an error light for a few seconds that said check brake light, and it wouldn't actually let me use any of these controls over here. It would still let me do things like the cruise and cancel, but this little menu and OK button and the up and down selector would not work. Every time I tried it, it just said check brake light. So I went ahead and looked at the lights, made sure that they were all working, restarted the car, and I don't see that error anymore. I'll post, an update or pin something in the comments if I figure out, some kind of error that's going on, or if I see a fix for it, that if it's a recurring issue. Alrighty, so I was able to get the error to pop back up, and I did some research and figured out why it's happening. Basically, what's going on is the battery is still pushing the same amount of current to the light sockets for these lights, and the older halogen bulbs required more power to come on. LEDs require less power, so there's more current going there than is needed, which can cause something called hyper flash in your turn signals, which makes them flash really fast, or in your brake lights or headlights. If it happens to them, it can cause them to go out faster or even just pop, and you'll have to replace them. Now you can wire in a load resistor to alleviate some of that current and not have to deal with it. But with how cheap these LED taillights have become, I figure if I, pop one or they go out or whatever, I'll just go ahead and buy another kit and replace them. Now, there are some more expensive kits that you can get out there that have a load resistor already wired in, but a lot of times that's going to require you to kind of change the housing because there's going to be more stuff to fit in there and more wiring. So I think I'm okay for now, just living with, a little error on the dash. Alrighty, and here's what they both look like in the daytime. You can definitely tell that they're brighter than those inside lights. We will be replacing those as well as the turn signals that are over here, and then we'll be doing the fronts as well, so stay tuned for that. Before I finish the video up, I also want to go ahead and wait and see what they look like at night. So we will come back in a few hours when it gets dark and see what these look like. Alrighty, and here's what they look like at night. Yeah, they are nice and super bright. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out the video. If you have any questions about the install or about the lights, let me know in the comments. I'll be leaving a link in the description below if you want to pick some of these up for your car. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and check out another video on the channel while you're here. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the video, and I hope to see you in my next one.